Yeah, so it's funny, like so this company started from the sense of like, okay, if I'm gonna work for myself, I want to do things I want to do. I don't want to, do jobs I don't really care for.
Yes.
So we actually always work with people we want to work with. We care more about having fun and building meaningful relationships over just getting a paycheck. Because you can have money, but you'll be empty at the end of your life on that.
Yes.
So the process is quite simple. Find people you want to work with, work out a price that is reasonable and fair for both parties, and then it is capture it. And so with the McLaren, for instance, it was a matter of like, I love machinery. My first photo shoot was a Challenger 500. I love vehicles, so it's like, okay, I grew up watching Top Gear. It's like, okay, let's capture like this rawness of the engine. Let's capture like the curves and the motion. Let's capture its speed. And pretty much that is shoot a ton of stuff, photograph a ton of stuff, bring it into the software, edit it, cut a whole bunch of stuff. And the formula, and probably a trade secret I shouldn't be spilling, but the formula to any good video is every scene is either one of two things: anticipation or payoff. Anticipation, payoff, anticipation, payoff. And what you want to do is you want to, every second that someone watches it, they're either can't wait to see what happens, and then they get a reward either down the line or something else. Otherwise, you get bored and you just check out.
Yes.
And so that for us was just kind of like, all right, how do we craft that?
Yes.
And that's creating a whole bunch of content, and then we deliver it.
Yes.
And that's where the creativity comes in, is knowing the product. So in this car, the McLaren 720S, I know how it works. With the sense of the Haven, it's people's stories. So it's like, how do you capture it from their point of view? How do you what questions do you have to ask?
Yeah.
So intriguing. And I think stories draw people in. Like you look at cavemen and you look at every single culture, they all revolve around a story.
Yes.
And I think it's no different in businesses. If you can hear someone's story, what they're about, their journey, what they desire, and if you resonate, you're going to buy in.
Exactly.
So marketing is saying, I'm going to sell you these things. Branding is, I'm going to show you my story, and we're going to put those together, and they go hand in hand together. I think it comes down to, can you deliver really well? But then it's a matter of, okay, get creative about it, think about it, be intentional with it, because chances are you have competitors, and unless you have no competitors, you really need to be aggressive in this area.
Yeah.
So you look at how many like Chinese takeaways there are. Look how many like Apple, how many computer tablet options there are.
Yes.
There's always competition, and you always have to think through, how do we differentiate through our branding.
Yes.
So it's critical. And I think this is where passion meets in. Because if you're passionate about it, you're saying, no, I'm not going to let this push me down. I know what I can deliver.
Yeah.
I know my brand is strong enough. I need to be persistent and disciplined.
Yes.
And then the other factor is, I think a lot of companies and a lot of people in our businesses, if you will, run in the trap of like, you make a really good connection, but then you become too shy to talk about the next level of like, hey, can you find me more work? Because I'm desperately needing a paycheck.
Yes.
I think you nurture because you care for the person, and by proxy, you then get the permission to say, hey, can you think about sharing my company with other people?
Yes.
And when you say that, that person, if they haven't already been doing it, will be like, yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yes.
And I think you put this pressure on yourself, being like, it's too big of an ask. No, if you've nurtured that relationship,
Yes.
they're keen to pass you on.